Hello and welcome to Blues View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined on the phone now by Birmingham City correspondent Colin Tatham. Hi Colin.
Hello.
Well, it's obviously the January transfer window opening up now, and we'll speak about that in a moment, as well as the Peterborough game and also the sad passing of Gary Ablett. But first of all, can you just give us an update on the futures of Undor and Chris Wood at Birmingham City?
Well, with Undor, the option to extend the loan to the end of the season from St Etienne is up on January the 5th, and from what I could gather at the Peterborough game, it's more or less certain that Blues will be doing that, even though he is due to disappear for a few weeks for the African Nations Cup. Same with Chris Wood. Talks have been sort of ongoing with Albion about his loan for a number of weeks, and it looks very likely that Blues will extend his loan as well. Now, they can either do it for 6 months or on a sort of month-to-month basis, which is what they have been doing up to now. So it looks like those two players will be staying in Chris Hughton's squad. So that's good news.
And now looking at the January transfer window, there's not much action yet from what we can gather with Birmingham City, but lots of big names being linked to the club and what you might want to consider maybe speculation. What's the situation down at St Andrews?
I often say it, Brad, and write it, but I think people do have to understand that Chris Hughton Blues have not got basically any money to spend, really. And talk of certain sort of players coming in and big name players coming in, I can't really see it coming to fruition, to be honest, because also we have to factor in the fact that the wages are going to be a problem. Blues cannot afford to pay big wages to people either, so it's going to be a very delicate juggling act for the manager, and it's more likely, from my understanding, that if and when players do move on, then that's when he's likely to bring people in as replacements, if on loan or free or for nominal fees, like he did at the end of the summer window. But I don't think we should get too excited with thinking there's a whole raft of new players coming in, and Chris Hughton himself has said that as long as his squad is competitive and he's quite happy with the current squad he's got now, so he's not actively sort of searching to bring someone in and busting a gut to get someone in, tomorrow or next week, unless the landscape changes in regards to outgoings.
Okay, well, we'll be keeping an eye on that, obviously, over the coming days and weeks up till the end of the transfer window. Now, talking about the current crop of players at St Andrews, you were at that game at London Road for Peterborough, that 1-1 draw. What did you make of their performance by Birmingham City?
It was very much a sort of typical away performance in that Blues conceded a bad goal, really. They were opened up very early on, caught napping, and then went on to have all the possession, created clear chances, and basically dominate their opponents. But they couldn't break them down. This time, however, it wasn't a 1-0 defeat. Marlon King got a stoppage time penalty, which Blues deserve. They deserved a draw, but they need to be more ruthless on the road and get points on their travels to go with the outstanding St Andrews record that they've got, which is now the only unbeaten one in the Championship. But we've been talking about this for a number of weeks now. The management, the players know it, and really they've just got to do something about it. And whether that means tinkering with the forward line a little bit, that remains to be seen. But certainly, the good signs are there. That the base is there, but they just need a little bit extra up on top. And it's not one individual. It's it's all the players have got to carry the can. They're all sort of missing chances and not delivering that killer final pass maybe or cross in the final third when it matters.
Okay, and well, just to finish the show today, something to put it all into perspective, it's the sad passing of former Birmingham City defender Gary Ablett this week. Colin, just give us a few words on what sort of person and player Gary Ablett was, and I know you've also been speaking to Trevor Francis about him.
Yeah, I've spoken to Trevor and Steve Bruce and a few others, and to a man, and I echo their sentiments that Gary Ablett was a fine footballer, very underrated in many respects, but also he was a real fine gentleman, a proper person, and he had time for everybody, and he was genuine with it. I got on well with him when he came down from Everton in the summer of 1996. And, as you said, he battled a sort of a type of blood cancer for 16 months, and it was a very, very hard struggle for him and his family. And at 46 to be taken from us, it's just awful. And I think when we look back on Gary's career, obviously many people recognise him from his days at Liverpool and Everton, where he won the FA Cup with both. But at Blues, he played 124 games. He captained the side in his third season. And he was excellent for what he was brought in to do, often alongside Steve Bruce. Very, as I said, underrated player, very sort of classy and consistent in what he did. But above all, football's only a game, let's face it. Gary Ablett will always be remembered for being a really decent, genuine, nice person, and that's how I will always remember him.
Okay, and obviously all our thoughts from people here at Birmingham Mail go to Gary Ablett's family at this difficult time for them. Thanks, Colin, for your thoughts today, and thanks everyone for watching and listening to Blues View today. We'll be back again next week with more from St Andrews.